Convention Center. Albuquerque's Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero Jr. with a record of 11-0 with 9 wins by knockout. And there you see the crowd waiting for Kid Dynamite to come out and enter the arena. Quick draw, Orlando Malone is in the ring waiting for his opponent. Orlando Malone is undefeated out of Denver, Colorado. 1991, he was the runner-up for the National Amateur Championship. And he was also a bronze medalist at the U.S. Olympic Festival. So he comes in with great credentials. He's undefeated. And this will be the battle of the unbeaten. Danny Romero Jr. and Orlando Malone from the Albuquerque Convention Center. And there you see, quick draw, Orlando Malone getting ready to face what will definitely be his stiffest test, Danny Romero Jr. Malone coming off a knockout victory over Johnny Knight. And he said he's been a little bit disappointed in his professional opponents, and he's hoping that Danny Romero can give him a much better fight. So in just a matter of seconds now, Kid Dynamite, and here he comes now. Danny Romero Jr. enters the ring with an array of laser lights, smoke. The crowd at a fever pitch here. The New Mexico State flyweight belt being held up by one of the members of Kid Dynamite's entourage, and here they come now. There you see Dan Romero Sr., and there he is, Kid Dynamite, on his way to the ring now to face Orlando Malone. The Albuquerque Convention Center, a good crowd here, looks like about 1,500 people. So the attendance is continuing to grow for Kid Dynamite. And there you see Chuck McGregor, matchmaker from Unistary Sports, and Danny Romero now into the ring. Kid Dynamite rated number 12 in the world by KO Magazine, and that was kind of a surprise. He's moving up fast, and if he can get a victory here over Orlando Malone, who knows how much farther he'll move up.
He's coming all the way to New York in Albuquerque tonight. Alive and well, he's unbeaten. This is the battle of the unbeaten. He's here, he's wearing green and black. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Convention Center. Orlando, quick draw, Malone.
So here we go, round one underway, and you saw Danny Romero get knocked off balance a little bit by his opponent Orlando Malone. Dan Cisneros at ringside here for Community Cable Channel 27. You're watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour, and you're seeing Orlando Malone, the undefeated flyweight out of Denver, Colorado. He's in the multicolored trunks taking on Albuquerque, New Mexico's Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero Jr. And then you see a big right hand being attempted by Kid Dynamite. And a good right hand lands now. And you can see that the dynamite power of Romero is just, it's evident. It's always a threat to his opponent. And Orlando Malone's going to have to work around that. Another right hand now from Romero. Orlando Malone with fast hands, a lot of experience and good movement. Orlando Malone, age 29. He's kind of getting a late start as a professional, but a world of amateur experience, a tremendous fighter, and he's undefeated, bringing his record of 10-0 into this battle. Now you see Danny Romero kind of, I'm sure he was pumped up to start the bell, you know, coming out for the first bell, and it will take a little bit of time to settle down, get into his fight plan. He's only 19 years old, Kid Dynamite. Now you see Malone trying to measure Romero with the jab, and Romero comes back with two good right hands now. This fight was billed as a mini version of Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, and right now you can see who is who. Romero coming forward aggressively, playing the role of Roberto Duran, his idol, his favorite fighter. And there's another good right hand from Romero. Now Malone comes back with a good counter combination to the body. Danny Romero will need to work off the jab and set things up. Ooh, and a right hand connects on the chin of Malone. Malone, who was in top shape, he was training for Eric Griffin, the U.S. Olympian, former amateur world champion. And Malone was supposed to face him several times. The fight kept falling out. And Malone was in training when he got the call to face Kid Dynamite. And so he took the fight, and he's in top shape. Feels very confident that he can come in here and steal a victory from Kid Dynamite. Again, you see Romero miss with a right hand. Malone comes back with a counter right. Orlando Malone, very tricky, very skilled, and a good counter puncher. Both men now winging with left hands. Danny Romero is spoken of highly for his power, but the most underrated part of his arsenal is his defense. Look at his hands. His hands are high. A lot of shots will be caught on the arms, the elbows. And there you see Malone trying to get rough, and Romero gets right in his face. 10 seconds to go here in the opening round. A good round for Danny Romero, but both men doing good work here. Again, a battle of jabs, and there's the bell to end the first round. So both men come out a little bit cautious, but they also threw plenty of bombs, so it's a good opening round, and you can see that both men are in for a heck of a fight here. This should be a war tonight here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour. We look into the corner now of Kid Dynamite. Danny Romero Jr., that's his father, Danny Sr., giving him advice. Henry Chavez and Luis Chavez working the corner with Kid Dynamite. Now over in the other corner, Orlando Malone. He's handled by Jim Smith out of Denver, Colorado. Jim feels he's got a real gem here, a real possible world champion, and it's kind of unusual that two men of this high caliber would meet this early in their career. But this is the kind of fight that it takes. One of these men is going to move up to the upper echelon. Round two now, about ready to get underway here. We're at the Albuquerque Convention Center. And you see Romero walk out, and Malone greets him with a jab. Both men are right-handers, no surprises there. And now you see Malone working with the right hand. Orlando, quick draw Malone, the pride of Denver, Colorado. But he's in the backyard of Kid Dynamite. Danny Romero, there's a good right hand that just spins Malone around. The power just folds him in half, kind of knocked him off balance. So both men have been knocked off balance now in this fight. And now you see Romero starting to open up just a little bit more now. Malone answering back. He's not going to be pushed around. He told us he could go toe-to-toe with Kid Dynamite. Good body shots from Romero. Look at that. Right, left, right again. Double right hook, Romero. And there you see evident what he told us in the opening interview, that he did have some new weapons in his bag of tricks, and he's showing them to us right now. Some real nice double right hooks. Malone now is trying to stick and move, jabbing, throwing combinations and moving out. That would be a good game plan for him. I don't think it would be wise for him to go toe-to-toe with Romero. Danny Romero surprising the boxing world, coming in at 112 again. The young man who is highly touted, rated number 12 in the world as a junior bantamweight, comes in as flyweight and takes the state flyweight title, and here he goes again. And now Malone gets knocked into the ropes. Orlando Malone now starting to retreat just a little bit. He was kind of going toe-to-toe. I think those body shots may already be taking their toll on quick draw Malone. And again, you see the left hand to the liver of Orlando Malone. Danny Romero, just a fantastic body puncher. He has studied his fighters well. He kind of patterns himself after Julio Cesar Chavez and Roberto Duran. And you can see that very evident in his style. Danny Romero, who has been coming up a little bit slower than some of the Olympians and the gold medal winners who have, like Oscar De La Hoya, that have just got instant stardom. Danny Romero, with kind of a grassroots campaign, his manager Cameron Duncan bringing him up the hard way, but it's paying off because of as much talent as he has. He's as good as anyone on the Olympic team. He lost in the Olympic trials, and he just as well could have been representing the United States in the '92 Olympics. Right now you see him as a professional in there with Orlando Malone. A good fight now. We're in the second round. Danny Romero being aggressive, Malone boxing. The bell to end the second round. So Danny Romero is being given the test that was expected of Orlando Malone. He's a good young fighter, 29-year-old Orlando Malone, and there you see him in his corner. But I've given both opening rounds to Romero. So Malone's going to have to get busier. He's going to have to hurt Romero. And so far, I would say most of the damage has been inflicted by Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero. He's got his hands full with quick draw Orlando Malone as Romero comes out to greet him for the third round. Both men now exchanging. Malone trying to shoot combinations, and Romero very economical, just waits patiently for the opening. You don't see Danny Romero move backwards. I can't recall ever seeing him in a fight being moved backwards. He's very strong for his weight. And I know I've said it before, and you're probably sick of hearing it, but it is true. Very similar to the early days of Mike Tyson, the style. Malone now trying to work with that right hand. There's a good right hand from Malone. Again, Malone with combinations, a lot of that being caught on the gloves of Kid Dynamite. Romero now trying to start with that jab. If he can get that jab in there, it'll open up a world for him with the right hand. Dan Romero has power in both hands. He's not a Jerry Cooney, a one-handed puncher. He is dangerous from both sides. All of his professional opponents have said that Romero is definitely a terror, that there was nobody in their past fights that could match the skills and deadly power of Romero. He's earned a lot of respect. 11 men definitely respect him. And I think right now Orlando Malone is starting to find out that he may be joining the club very soon. Kid Dynamite now missing with the right hand. Comes back to the body. Again, another body shot from Romero. And look at Malone just kind of standing on the ropes, freezing on the ropes there. He looks like he's a little hurt. Referee is Merv Nephew. The judges for this one are Walter Brown, Sandy Pino, and Larry Chavez. And I would have to score these rounds so far for Romero, and another good round here in the third for Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero in the gold trunks. Danny Romero, who is just recently rated number 12 in the world by KO magazine. is knocking on the door of a world title. There's a good combination now. Romero getting in with that right hand. And now Malone backed into the corner. He shouldn't be there. He needs to get out. He cannot stay on the ropes and let Romero bang on him. Nobody can stand up to that. Malone has got to get off the ropes. And there's the bell to save Malone, to get him out of that corner. So he just kind of freezes up with his back to the ropes, and Romero goes to work on him. Another good round for Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero. And there you see his record, 11-0, 9 KOs, rated number 12 by KO Magazine. And Danny Romero Jr.'s camp has issued the challenge to world champion Michael Carbajal. Anytime he wants it, they're ready. And I think Romero's game plan would be to get the flyweight title, world title, and have give Carbajal something to shoot for, and then Michael Carbajal would move on up to flyweight and try to gain his second world title. So we're ready to start the 4th round now. This bout is scheduled for 10. This is the main event here at the Albuquerque Convention Center. Three rounds in the books. Orlando Malone showing well against Danny Romero, the battle of the unbeaten. Round 4 is underway, and both men step to center ring now. Orlando Malone again comes out, starting off with the jab. He's been trying to stay busy, but absolutely not hurting Romero in any way. Romero now banging on him again, going right back to the body. Romero now starting to put some real power behind those shots. Malone fighting his way off nicely. Orlando Malone is not a runner. He will stand right in front of you and give you a little movement from the waist and the knees. Malone, look at Malone now, fights his way out of the corner. Kid Dynamite now working with his jab. Continuing to peck away with the jab. You can expect the right hand to be following that jab shortly. Romero's hands never drop. He keeps his hands high, a good sturdy defense. 127 wins as an amateur against only 5 defeats. And now you see Romero starting to bang away on Malone. Oh, a big right hand from Romero. Another big right hand, and Malone falls into the ropes. Here goes Romero in for the kill now, and down goes Orlando Malone. Is down. He is really shook up. He's wobbly, but he does get to his feet. He beats the count. And the referee's taking a good look. He's going to let it continue now. We're in the 4th round, so Orlando Malone goes down here in the 4th, and he's in a lot of danger. Again, Romero coming in. What a finisher. Kid Dynamite. Romero now with the right hand, both hands flying. A little off balance there. Romero stumbles. He's going wild. He needs to settle down and find a good finishing shot here. There's a good body shot. That's the one right there. Again, Romero just barely missing. Malone surviving. Look at Malone's face. He is battered like he's been through the meat grinder. Look at him. He is really getting chewed up in this 4th round. Both men were just kind of cruising along, and all of a sudden Romero with that power out of nowhere, and down went Malone. He got up, but he has just not recovered since. And now Danny Romero is calming down and patiently on the attack. I think the ringside doctor, Stanford Bernardo, would be proud of him, because he looks like a surgeon in there now, just going in with those surgical shots, picking them. He's not going wild. Danny Romero, only 19 years old, showing the experience of a man who's been a pro for years. And now he has Malone back in the corner again. Malone frozen on the ropes. He comes out with a barrage of shots, but it doesn't push Romero back at all. Again, Romero with the left hand to the body. Romero again digging those body shots, chopping down the tree. Again the body shot, and Malone tries to answer back. And Orlando Malone is in the neutral corner. He doesn't even know what corner he's in. Look at that. Orlando Malone was standing in the neutral corner waiting for the stool, and his manager had to come and get him. So Orlando Malone is really in trouble here. Being hammered in the 4th round. Romero dishing out some severe punishment. Look at his face now. He's really suffering. I wouldn't argue too much if his corner would call the fight right now. I think Malone has just about had enough. But I'm quite sure he will not quit. So Danny Romero steps on the gas a little bit in the 4th round. And how Malone survived it, I'll never know. He was in top condition, though. He was in training to face former amateur world champion Eric Griffin when he got the call for Romero. So he was in top shape, and that's about the only thing that saved him so far. We're ready now to start round 5 here at the Albuquerque Convention Center. And I really can't see this one going much farther. Boy, Malone just survived. He just squeaked out of that 4th round. And now he comes out throwing some shots. He knows he has to hurt Romero. Danny Romero, not a mark on him. And now you see Romero again setting up. He's setting something up here. Pecking away with the left jab. Coming in behind that high defense. Good high defense. Little Alexis Arguello in his style. Oh, and there's a big right hand knocking Malone across the ring. And I just don't think Malone has recovered from that knockdown.
Okay.
Again, Romero working with the jab. This crowd being treated to a real fine performance by their hometown hero, Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero, in the 5th round. There's a big right hand to the head of Malone again. Oh, Orlando Malone, how can you stand up to the pressure? Look at the body shots, double, working with that left hand now. Kid Dynamite has Malone right where he wants him. He can pretty well do whatever he wants. He's picking his shots here, just looking for a good finisher. And Malone continues to fire back. Again, Malone landing with both hands, pecking away with the jab, but just not stopping Romero, like a tank rolling right in on him. This is like a BB gun against a tank, and a big left hand from Romero. Malone has nowhere to hide now. He's starting to slow down. He comes back with a flurry of punches. Romero now standing outside, getting a little distance, shooting the jab. Comes in with a big right hand again. Look at Malone avoiding, getting low, trying to get away from those shots. Now he's back in the corner again. Romero now with both hands continuing to put the pressure on. No relief for Malone. Ooh, a big left hand to the body, and down goes Malone again. Oh, that left hand to the body. Julio Cesar Chavez protege. Look at that. And Malone beats the count again. I didn't think he'd get up that time. I think he's had enough. No, he's going to come out for more. And oh man, a big right hand from Romero. Another one. Malone going through the ropes here. That's it. The referee calls it. He saves him. Oh, referee Merv Nephew doing a great job getting in there and stopping the fight. Malone could have really been ruined there. He was just getting knocked all over the ring like a rag doll. Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero, another impressive performance. Marching towards the world title. Sending shockwaves through the flyweight division. Oh, man, there's got to be some trembling flyweights in the boxing world right now. Kid Dynamite Romero with another impressive performance. And now you see all of the Romero entourage entering the ring. There's his stepbrother Juan with his hands raised high.
Yep, still going.
The state flyweight belt being held high, held proudly by one of Romero's bodyguards. And there you see a happy crowd. What a performance. Kid Dynamite really never in trouble with Orlando Malone, who is unbeaten with 8 knockouts out of 10 fights, an 80% KO ratio. His punches were like BBs against the body armor of Kid Dynamite, Danny Romero Jr. We're just about ready now. Let's go up to ring announcer Henry Tafoya.
Ultimate 8 count boxing show here only in Albuquerque.
All right.